guys, I'm Kourtney and thanks for coming to Kourtneys.Plant.Korner. If you haven't been here before, I released my very first video last Tuesday and I promised a part 2 to my Edmonton haul, so I'm super excited to share it with you. It was Black Friday while I was there and I scored big time, so I'm super excited to show you what I got. So I'm going to show them in categories of the stores that I got them in. The very first store I went to was Greenland and they weren't having a sale, but they did have a little clearance section and their plants weren't looking the greatest. They looked healthy enough to bring home and revive and they were pretty cheap. So those were, so I have a Dragon Jade and he's longer than I thought he was. I actually really dislike this plant. It is the most disturbing looking plant ever. But I seen that Harley G got one on her site and hers looked beautiful on camera. So I'm going to try and revive this one and hopefully it gets a lot prettier as time goes on. So originally this plant was $50 and I got him for $75 off on the clearance section. He's actually healthy. I don't see anything wrong with him. I just think he was the uglier one in the bunch and that's why they had him on sale. So I ended up getting these two Dischidias. I believe that they are the same plant, except for this one is mounted on a piece of coconut husk. And this is a Dischidia Green Cascade. I got these ones for 25% off, I believe. And this was $10.99, and then the hanging one was $20.99, I believe. And then I got a Pepper Spot Peperomia. I got him because he was $5.99, and I believe he was 15% off. I had a very large hanging basket and it wasn't doing so hot, so I thought, oh, let's repot it, that's what it needs, and it died completely the next day. So I thought I would pick up another one and give it a shot, and it's quite dry and I can see it's starting to shrivel, so I'm gonna have to water it after this video. So next I'm gonna show you the plants that I got from my absolute favorite greenhouse in Edmonton. When I talked to them on Facebook, they told me that they weren't having a Black Friday sale. When I walked into their store, it was 75% off all houseplants, and I went nuts. Okay guys, so I totally lied, and it was actually 40% off. So I'll start with the hanging plant that I purchased. So I got this really beautiful Philodendron Brazil. I actually picked up 2 of them. I got one for a friend as well. And this is originally $22.79. I thought it was an amazing deal for such a full pot. And I've never seen one that is this healthy before. Others are usually just in our big box stores and we don't see them often. So I was really excited to pick this one up. So next I got some doubles of what I purchased last time, but I can't help it, they're my favorite. So I got, okay, don't mind how it looks in his pot. I got another parallel peperomia. When I tried to pot it, I thought it would make a nice full pot, and it just went limp like they do, because they do turn into a hanging pot. So I kind of had to arrange it to make it look as nice as I could. So I have it under my bright grow light at the moment, and it's starting to perk up a lot, so I think it's going to come along nicely. Like I said, I got doubles, so I got some of these last time, but when they were on sale I had to get more because they are another one of my favorite. I'm going to butcher the name. They are the Peperomia Petulia, I believe. I'm definitely wrong. I read it on Google and I can't pronounce it. They're absolutely stunning. I love the texture of these leaves. They feel like cardboard. I think that's what makes these ones stand out to me the most. So next from Holes, I got some pretty good scores. One of them I already gave away to a friend, and it was a nice full pot of string of pearls. Along with the string of pearls, I got this string of hearts. Since I brought it home, it has put out so many new leaves, and this was only $30. It was actually $29.97. and 70% off, so when I seen it, I couldn't say no. I really wish I would have purchased more than one. So to go along with more string of plants, I got a string of dolphins. I don't understand. If you know, let me know, but I don't understand why they put string of dolphins in such a deep container, because their roots don't go that deep. They kind of sit at the pot, so I feel like it's kind of a waste of plastic. But if you know why they pot it like this, let me know. So the next plant I got 2 of as well, and I'm really excited I got this because I've seen it on a greenhouse site on Instagram in Ontario. I can't afford to go to Ontario, so I've been looking for this plant everywhere, and it is a pickle plant. I've been looking for these everywhere. I don't really know what it is about them that I like, but they look like little dill pickles, and they look fuzzy, and they're a succulent, I believe, but when you squish them, they feel wet. It's kind of odd, but I'm so excited I got my hands on these. And these were $6.97. The last 2 that I purchased at Holes don't have names on them, and when I asked on Facebook, I got different answers. So if you know, let me know the names of them down in the comments. They're both marked as Dischidias. This one here, it's tall. It sounds tall and upright, and it has very large leaves. And people said it is a Hoya Australis, but it doesn't look anything like my Hoya Australis, and my Hoya doesn't have as thick of stems. Like, these are pretty thick. So when I seen this guy, he was the only one left, and he was super healthy, so I knew I had to bring him home, and he was $29.97. So there's 4 plants actually in this pot, and they all have lots of new growth on them, so he's going to be a beautiful plant by the springtime. And then lastly, I got this Dischidia, and people are debating whether it is a Hoya or a Dischidia, and I'm not sure. These leaves feel different from my Hoyas that kind of look like this, but that doesn't mean anything at all. They are in the same family, so it makes sense that they would get confused. Lastly, I'm super excited for this plant, but I'm also really sad about this plant because I'm having troubles with it. The very first time I went to Edmonton at the start of the month, they had huge burl marxes, and I left the greenhouse to go meet a friend. Wasn't even thinking, I didn't purchase one. So when I got back to Saskatchewan, I was really sad about it. So when I got to Holes, that's the very first thing I looked for. I knew it was weeks later, but I was really hoping that they had one. Luckily for me, they had 1 left. It was a huge burl marks, and it was absolutely stunning. So $75 and then 40% off. It was calling my name. So it's a really big plant. So I'm just going to show you some cuttings that I've taken from this plant already. The leaves are huge, and all the leaves have about 2 to 3 nodes on them, so I have high hopes for these guys. Unfortunately for me, the leaves are going yellow, so I don't know if it's like a temperature shock. When I took it out of its pot, it was really wet, so I repotted it into my terracotta pot, and I used my aeroid mixture that I use for everything else, and I've never had problems with it. But the plant is still turning yellow and more yellow every day. I just cut off the yellow leaves today, so I'm really hoping that it's done. I have it in a room, I have it settled. I've used a magnifying glass and I cannot see any pests on it, but I have a load of ladybugs coming that should be here on Thursday. So hopefully if there is any pests on there, they will eat them up and bring it back to life. Because I can't even explain how excited I was to find this plant. So after there, I went to All Seasons Garden Center, I believe it's called. So I got 2 peperomia orbas. One's variegated and one's just a regular green. I have these as like little miniature ones. So when I've seen bigger ones, I was pretty excited. Don't ask me how much I paid for these because there was no price on them, and I just handed over my debit card and tapped the screen without asking. Not the smartest idea, but I liked them, so I went with them. Then I went to Glass Earth. This is one of my favorite plant shops, and it's located in the Kingsway Mall. So when I was there, I picked up... Okay, I totally forgot the name of this plant. It is some sort of a tropical vine. I believe it's a grapevine. And it has a new leaf coming out here on the top, and it looks like it's pushing out one more. I just kind of like how it looks more like an ivy because I love ivies. But I won't have ivy in the house just because of spider mites. So this kind of gives me the same feel as the ivy. So I'm excited to watch it vine. Apparently it grows quite long. Then I purchased this pitcher plant. Had a really nice little baby pitcher on it, but I might be killing it. I let it dry out a little too much, so I know that's my fault. I won't let that happen again. But it's a beautiful plant, and it's putting out more pitchers here on the end. So I'm really excited to watch this one grow. Then lastly, I picked up a philodendron silver sword. I believe it's called a hestatum, but I might be incorrect. I love it because of the silver color, and I have a larger form of this that looks more like a sword. So I knew I had to get this one to match my other one, and it's putting out a new leaf, so I'm excited to watch this one grow. But the last store I went to is called Lace and Leaves, and they're in a more industrial area, and I got lost going there. But it is definitely worth going. They have amazing prices. But one was a peperomia incana, and it is not doing so well. I don't know what I did to it, but it's dying fast on me. So I have cut it up into cuttings to hopefully propagate it and save it. I purchased this Polynesian ivy. It is absolutely stunning. I've never seen anything like it, so when I seen it there, I had to get it. And it was only $7, so I thought that was an amazing price. I need to put it on a little stake because it is starting to fall over. And it was bigger, but when I got home, the cat got into the box and knocked part of it off. I have that part propagating in the kitchen. I remember what I forgot. So the two most beautiful plants that I got in Edmonton are my two jewel orchids. I have to show you a close-up because this doesn't even give it justice. So this more yellow one here is called a Macodes Sanderlana, I believe. They are marked with names. Oh, and this one has a big name. It is an Anotochelus formosanus. That is not how you pronounce that name. But it's absolutely beautiful. Like I said, I'm gonna insert a close-up of these because they are stunning. I have these two in my little dome sitting on my kitchen table, which there is a west-facing window in my dining room, but it's blocked by a tree, so it gets some nice afternoon sun, and it's keeping the humidity up while being in the dome. So now that I look around, that is it. Super happy that I left off with these two. I would have been really sad if I forgot to show you them. Thank you so much for coming back to my channel. I really appreciate it. I just want to thank you so much. I can't believe how much love I've gotten for my first video. I have gotten over 200 views. That probably doesn't seem like a lot to a lot of people, but I thought there was going to be like maybe 5 people from my family, so I'm pretty pumped that others were watching it. And thank you for the good feedback. I really appreciate it, and the thing you asked me to work on, I really hope I did a bit better in this video, but I'll keep working towards it to make them better every week. So I'll see you guys next Tuesday. Have a great week. Bye guys!